Good morning, children. Welcome back to our session. So, yesterday we discussed about various necessary skills which is required to conserve and preserve oral sources of history, written sources of history, and material sources of history. So, those training is very important because ultimately we are supposed to conserve and preserve our sources of history in a specific way and a specific manner, which need a specific training, specific skills, because it should be preserved for future generation, coming generation for a longer period of time. So what type of treatment we need to have and how we are going to preserve those things, what method and skills to be followed, so that needed a specific skills and training. Now children, we will see 9.2, that is some famous museums. Already children, we have studied about museums, the importance of museums, why museums were established all over the world, what was the motive behind to establish museums. So some famous museums which is given in this lesson, we will see why it was established and what is the importance of this, what is the unique of these museums which make a difference among all other museums. So first we will see museums were created to organize and manage the antiquities collected by members of royal and elite families of medieval Europe. So antiquities, that means artifacts, that means very valuable old uh, artifacts we can say, that is antiquities. So royal and elite families, the upper class people or the upper class families or the royal families, to manage those things which was owned by royal family and elite families in medieval Europe. Understood? So museums were established. So among those museums, first we will see Louvre Museum in France. Children, this museum is very unique and beautiful. Understood? I will give you one link. You can see, you can have a virtual tour of that Louvre Museum. You can see what is there and what is very unique about this museum. What are the things which is kept for the people, for the tourists all over the world. Why the people, they are very much interested to see this museum. To start with this Louvre Museum, the Louvre Museum in Paris was established in 18th century CE. Antiquities collected by members of royal family were exhibited in the Louvre Museum. It included the much acclaimed painting of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, the world-renowned artist. He worked under the patronage of Francis I, the King of France in the 16th century. The collection in the Louvre Museum increased to a great extent because of the antiquities brought by Napoleon Bonaparte from his conquest. Presently, the museum contains more than 3,80,000 artifacts. Children, this museum is very important and very unique because all of you know very well about Mona Lisa painting. I know this painting is world famous painting which was painted by the world famous all-rounder. We can say all-rounder because you know about unique about Leonardo da Vinci. He was master in all subjects and he was also a great painter. So this painter, this painter or Vinci, he painted a beautiful Mona Lisa painting which is exhibited in Louvre Museum in France. Till now we can see there. And he was there under King uh, of France, Francis I in 16th century. Children, one thing very important, after French Revolution, this museum was established. You know the importance of French Revolution. So this museum became highlighted or it became famous only after French Revolution when uh, after French Revolution this museum was started, it was established. And one thing very important children, Napoleon Bonaparte, you know about Napoleon, the conqueror, the great king. What happened once this museum was known as Bonaparte Museum. Why no? Because maximum artifacts was brought by Napoleon Bonaparte. Whenever he used to conquer any territory or any country, that king, uh, during that time, this type of rule was there, that if a king is conquering or having victory over another country or region, so the defeated king used to give valuable artifacts to that victory king. Understood? So in this way, Bonaparte collected so many artifacts, and it was full of, once a time, it was full of artifacts or antiquities which was bought by Napoleon Bonaparte. But after he died, what happened? Slowly, the kings, they used to take away, they took away all those artifacts which was given to Bonaparte by them, and now we can see presently the museum contains more than 3,80,000 artifacts. Understood? So, and one very important thing, this museum is known world to world, or it is famous because it is having Mona Lisa, the world class painting by Vinci. Understood? So Louvre Museum in France, we can see it is a some of the it is a famous museum all over the world. So this museum was established to preserve and conserve artifacts and antiquities by royal family of Europe. Slowly all over the world, various museums were established. Now we will see British Museum of England. Children, another museum also, I will give you link of this British Museum England, you can see it. The British Museum in London was established in the 18th century CE. Sir Hans Ceylon, a natural scientist, handed over about 71,000 objects in his collection to the King of England, George II. It included several books, pictures, specimens of preserved plants, herbarium, etc. Later, the collection was expanded by addition of various arts, objects and ancient artifacts collected by British people from British colonies. Children, this British Museum in England, it was established by Sir Hans in 18th century. Children, again it was established in the honor of King George II, to the King of England, George II, and it included several books, pictures, specimen of preserved plants, herbarium. I know you have heard about, you have already read about herbarium, the collection of preserved plants or very precious plants. Later, the collection was expanded by addition of various arts, objects and ancient artifacts collected by British people from the British colonies. So wherever the Britishers, they established the British colony, whether it is Asia, whether it is Africa, so they used to collect artifacts from those countries. If you go visit this British Museum in England now, you can find so many Indian artifacts, so many ancient Indian sculpture like Ganesh Murti, Buddha's Murti, sculpture, so many things it is kept there because Britishers, they ruled over India for so many years, and during their time they took away so many things from India. Understood? So we can see so many artifacts from various British colonies which was captured by Britishers, and they used to take away all those artifacts and they preserve in that British Museum. And also you know about Kohinoor Hira, which is also gifted by Maharaja Ranjit Singh to a British officer. So it is also there. So British Museum generally in England, which is established to keep all those artifacts which was captured by Britishers from British colonies. Understood?